good morning, not good evening. It's a Saturday morning, HHV, the judge. How are you doing, Judge? Good morning.
Yeah, all right, mate. Thanks. Yeah, better day yesterday. Looking forward to today's racing.
Yeah, what was your winner yesterday, mate?
I've got you guys to think now. It's the Post-Impressionist.
That's right.
8 to 1. Yes. So you caught me on the up there. Yep. It won well.
Could you give me your impression of the patient? Not really. I'm a doctor. I don't do impressions. All that.
Very good. 0 to.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, Newmarket Max, before we get stuck into the first big jumps race of the season, Newmarket Max is back today at Newmarket, would you believe, for a biggest bet yet. So get involved at the link below. You've got to email the address. I will read the address out, as I've been asked to. But the address is there, and you email the word MAXBET. Keep it as one word if you would be so kind, and then you'll get the bet straight away. It is Racing Office at 365sportsdigital.co.uk. That's Racing Office at 365sportsdigital.co.uk. It's the same email address as you'll see in the link. Email the word MAXBET, you'll get sent Maxi. If it loses, you don't pay a penny. If it wins, you pay a Nigel Ben, a Conor Ben, a 10. So there you go. So Newmarket Max, Judge is betting like a demon at York and Newmarket today for his private members. It's going to be a big day, but we are going jumping. That's right. The jump season starts officially, I think, at this Chepstow meeting, Judge. And the 402 is...
402.
The 402 is to be exact, the Wasdell Group. Don't know what they do. Silver Trophy Handicap Hurdle. It's a Class 2 worth 40 bags of sand over 2 mile 3 and 100 yards. Now, Judge, I hope this is not a something of things to come, because there is only 10 runners. Now, this is usually a big field handicap.
Yes, it is.
It's a worry, mate. It is a worry. It's going to be easier for us because there's only 10 runners, but for the sport in general, it's a worry, isn't it, mate? It's usually a big field.
Yeah. Normally get at least 16 in a race like this, don't you? Well, certainly 14 to 16. So it is. Now
it's going to be fast ground. It's going to be fast ground, and that might have scared a few off.
Yeah, is it that fast? Surely it can't be that bad, can it?
Times were decent yesterday, and
okay, I was going to say Chepstow. Normally, it's not so. You wouldn't have thought it'd be like on the firm side of the good, if you know what I'm trying to say. So
our old friend Top Cat reported it to be proper fast ground. Tom Cat.
Oh, okay. Well, I would not argue with him.
No, I wouldn't. Only a little fella, but I wouldn't argue with him. Now, let me go through the runners and riders. The favourite is Nappers Hill, ridden by Harry Cobden. That's 4 to 1. I say favourite because it's now joint favourite with Broomfield Berg, ridden by John Joe O'Neill Jr. Then we got Lord Badsley for the master trainer, Chris Gordon, ridden by Top Cat himself, Tom Cannon. Master's Legacy, he's 7 to 1. Did they leave you out too? He hasn't won for over 2 years, but he has been running well on the flat. He's 8 to 1. We got Zabeel Champion for John Joe and RP McClernand. That's 8 to 1. Bob Harley makes his debut for the Tizzards today. He's won his last 3. He is 12 to 1. I'm told he needs the race. Then we've got Unanswered Prayers for the master trainer Chris Gordon and his son Freddie, and Prashima for the Skeltons. Big price 20s for those Skeltons, already off the mark this season. West to the Bridge. If he wins, the judge will come round your house and pay you out himself. He's 66.
Is he on?
No, it's how I said you would as opposed to he would.
Yeah, exactly.
A little clue there.
That's a real fool if I tip that up now, wouldn't I?
A little clue as to how I operate there, Judge.
Yeah.
Dug you in deep there. Now, and I come to you first, mate. We've got the obvious favourite here in Nappers Hill. I say obvious because it's the Paul Nicholls horse.
Yeah.
4 to 1. Currently, that's with Bet365. He's as low as 3s elsewhere. What do you think? Is he a worthy favourite, Judge?
I'm going to have to stop the word there. Not for me. I don't want to make him favourites, but it's actually, if you use the Betfair hurdle form, he's actually held by a couple of these, so he shouldn't be favourite really. It's mainly because of the stable, and I don't like backing horses I think at the wrong price. So even if he can win, obviously he can, but he's a terrible price, I think.
Well, He's now off a
Sorry.
marker one. No, I agree with you. He's off a marker 141. I do think some of these early season races that the odds compilers just look at whatever Nichols has put in and stick it in as automatic favourite. I'm sure they would
I
argue.
suppose that's lazy, sort of like odds.
I don't see him I don't see him as a 4-1 shot off that race. Now, Nicky Henderson, Broomfield Berg. This has been cut from I think 7-1, 8-1 when betting open to now 4-1 Jolly. It's clearly fit and fancy. We know it's fit because it ran at Market Raspberry in the summer, where it didn't run particularly well. It was beaten at odds on, and I find it bizarre that this is 4-1 as well. I don't know what you think. I think if you can't win at Market Raisin at odds on, beaten by Ask Paddington, I cannot see how in a competitive race this is 4-1. Am I being harsh?
No, but I like the fact it's had a wind up now. It's favourite to win the Betfair Hurdle, £10 better off with Nappers Hill. So I'd rather be on that one out the two of them, if you see what I'm saying. But once again, the juice has gone out of that. 6-1, I might have been half interested, but 4-1, not for me now.
Now we come on to one that I think you are interested in. That's Lord Baddesley, trained by the master trainer himself, Chris Gordon, already on the mark at this meeting yesterday. 6-1, best price in the village. That is going very, very quickly. Can you see why that's going, Judge?
Yes, I can. Chris Gordon has absolutely started the fire. I think these early season races, it's not always necessarily about the best horse, etc., etc. It's about which stables off and running. And Chris is buzzing at the minute. Had 2 from 2 yesterday. I've got no reason to think this horse won't be ready. He ran very well in the Betfair Hurdle, which we've talked about. He actually beat both the 2 horses we've been on about earlier on. He's actually better off at the weights once again with where are we? Nappers Hill by £6. Not so good with Broomfield Berg, but he really stayed on well that day over the 2 mile trip, and he went up to 2 mile 3 round Plumpton. I was on, I'm afraid to say, and he was absolutely lobbing along, jumped the hurdle, and then about 4 strides later fell over. I thought, what on earth happened? Apparently he clipped heels. That was behind the horse called Borberly, who's running in this race. He's actually, I think he's £10 better off with Borberly for that run. It's too far out of Plumpton to say whether he was going to win. Put it this way, he would not have been worse than second in that race, because there's the only 2 horses that are travelling. And I just think Chris has got him ready first time up. I really like him. So he would be my selection in this race, Lord Baddesley. Right,
so if we can get that 6-1, get it sharpers. Ironically, this time last year, we were slightly worried about Chris Gordon. He was getting a lot of horses turned over, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he went quite a sort of like November, December last year. He started, and then after December, he had a great run, didn't he? So.
Yeah, well, I'm going to come to my selection now, and then we'll have a look at any other business type thing in the race, and that is actually Chris Gordon's other runner, number 8. Unanswered Prayers, ridden by young Mr. Freddie Gordon, who takes a very handy 7. This has got 10 stone 1 with that claim off. Already won 3 times. The ground won't be a problem. His form tides in because last time out he actually finished second in that race behind Bob Barley. Now, I think that's decent form. People will look at it and say, well, Plumpton, blah, blah, blah. But off 1-2-5, with the amount of weight he's getting in this, we know that Chris Gordon's got seemingly everything fully wound up. And like you say, these early season jumps races, I'm looking for trainers that are already on the board. It's a huge advantage. Now, for instance, we'll come to Bob Barley. He's joined Team Tizard. I'm a huge Joe Tizard fan. But the horse has won the course and distance, but my spies tell me that this one might just need the run here and has got other fish to fry later in the season. So I'm going to swerve Babali, but I like that form. I like the Chris Gordon form. I think Fred Gordon's going to be a name to follow. I think £7 is certainly part of the reason I'm going to go in on this. And if you can get that 16-1, it is going. These Chris Gordon horses are being backed in front of our eyes. You can get 16-1 still with Bet365 or 14s with Betfred. I would take that. I can see him being in the 3 quite easily, and actually could see him winning this off that weight. So we're certainly loyal to our Goodwin Racing sponsors. We're both going for Chris Gordon horses now. Let's quickly whiz through the others. Did they leave you out too? Very easy to leave him out when you look at the core fact he hasn't won for 3 years, but he has run 2 seconds last year in good company, and he's been running well on the flat. So did they leave you out too? 8-1. Can we give him a squeak, drop in grade?
Yeah, I was just going to say that he's a little battler, that Unanswered Prayers. He ran some good races last year. Yes, certainly can see him in the frame. Did they leave you out too? Was second in this race last year.
He was.
So, you know, he's got course form. And the top horse, Proschema, ran in this race last year, was behind Did You Leave You Out Too, but was a lot shorter price that day. And he's big price at 20s, I suppose. But Did You Leave You Out Too, if he was more of a winning machine, you'd be kind of think about possibly tipping him up. But at least he's fit from the flat. He's the kind of horses I'd rather be on than the front two in betting, to be honest.
Yeah, he's 9 now, isn't he? I don't think he's getting any better, did he?
No, he's not.
I think
possibly this might be a bit too much for him, but he'll definitely go on the going, and he'll, you know, he handles the track and he's fit. So there's worse selections you'll have.
Now, Zabeel champion for John Joe. Last seen winning 175 days ago at Haydock, where he beat Castle Gandolfo. He's 8-1. I think that price is probably about right. He's a 5-year-old, so he could still be improving. He's got a good win strike rate. I mean, his last 4 runs, 1, 2nd, 4th, and 1st. I think the market's kind of ignored him a little bit. I thought 8-1 was quite big for him. That's
exactly how I went. I mean, when I did my studying last night, this horse was like 5-6-1, and he was on the borderline. I like this horse. He's a decent flat horse. You know, you're looking at horse rated nearly 100 on the flat. And it's still only rated 120. He won his last race, so no, wouldn't be putting you off that. But the fact he's drifted, now this is when you're trying to second guess, does he need the run? And so, I still think 8-1, there's some juice in that price, yeah.
Yeah, they're a yard that I like to see money for.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
But the trouble is, sometimes they do, you do get the odd one, you think, oh, drifts all the way out, oh, this can't be today, and it wins, and you go, you've got to take your chance sometimes. It's
the first big jumps race of the year. The judge is going for number 9, Lord Badsley, ridden by Top Cat. Tom Cannon, get the 6-1 with Bet365. In fact, if you're on Bet365 now watching this, get that 6-1 and get the 16s on unanswered prayers. You will not beat those prices anywhere in the village. It's a big day, Chepstow. Make sure you watch the 402 to be exact.
Yeah.
Wish there was more runners, but if one of our horses wins, I'm glad there aren't more runners. That's the way of the world. Yes, Newmarket and York finale, another great season.
No, I'm a little bit, you know, it's nice to look at the jumps, but it's a little bit sad it's the last meeting at York, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, well, we'll be back. We'll be back. And Newmarket, fantastic day there as well. So get yourself by the TV, get ready, but make sure you switch over from that flat racing to watch the 402 at Chepstow. We will be back on Monday with Judges' Duels. Check out the Judges' Private Service. Check out Newmarket Max at the top link. This is his strongest bet yet. Huge profits, including the run of 6 wins in 7 bets. So get with that. Good luck today, Judge, in all your betting, mate. And I shall see you on Monday for some more Judges' Duels, where we'll look at horses to follow. I think there's going to be some interesting horses running today, and we'll tell you where they're going to go and where they're going to win on Monday. So have a fantastic day. See you soon, Judge. Take it easy, boy.
Take care, mate.
Bye, everybody.